Hi and welcome to this Christmas Yuletide video log with me, Wayne, from swimmingcyclingrunning.com. You'll notice that I've changed positions. I'm actually sitting on a fit gym. And I'm sitting here because I want to give you a Christmas present. A Christmas present of being able to develop a really good catch, but from dry land exercises. And that over Christmas may be really invaluable. Well, the first thing we've got to do is understand what a good catch is. So we're going to go to the computer, have a look at that, then come back and we'll discuss it.
Let's remind ourselves of what a catch should be. Here we have a national swimmer doing front crawl, and we'll see that he gets into a position where the hand is an extension of the forearm. I mean, if we took a rule, that would actually be one piece. You can see that the wrist doesn't snap at all. Now, that's not necessarily the case in all swimmers, but you can see he's holding the water well out in front of him. And he's trying to grab the water with that whole forearm and hand instead of just the hand. So there's the catch. That's what we mean by the catch. And he drives his forearm back and his elbow moves back with it. He's not driving his elbow back with his hand following. And you can see he's holding the water on that forearm the whole time as it pushes back against the water, and you can see that that's hugely important. Now, I also want you to look at another thing where his hand exits and where it's pointing. So when his hand exits the water, it's pointing backwards, and it exits really far down his thigh. So that's the element of the catch, and that's what this swimmer does to maintain a really good contact with the water. Now I'd like to compare another swimmer who has a slightly different catch. We can see the girl on the right and we have the boy on the left. Now if I start rolling this forward, you'll see that this swimmer does have a kink in the hand. So the hand has actually kinked, whereas the boy's is one straight forearm and hand. Now she gets into a wonderful catch position though, there where her hand is slightly more prevalent than her forearm, but she is actually using her forearm as well. You can see that completely there. Then as she progresses, she's actually digging deeper into the water than the boy. So she's trying to actually use some of her upper arm as well as her forearm. So she digs slightly deeper in the water as she comes through. And you can see that there. She's much deeper than the boy is at that point. And as they come to the back end of their stroke, you can see she's pushing back on the water. But another thing you can see is that the boy has to rotate more than the girl to actually get the hips out the way. The rotation there is less than the boy to get that hand out the way, and also that the girl has a shorter reach than the boy. If we just take that back, he's reaching right the way down to mid-thigh. She's actually reaching only to the start of her thigh. So people who dig deep tend to actually have a slightly shorter stroke than someone who actually doesn't dig deep and really gets an early vertical forearm and pushes straight back with the hand.
Okay, so you can see the problem. What we need to do is develop a catch and then pull back against that catch. Now that's early vertical forearm, and that is what the girl was doing. Now either is fine, but what we want to do is make sure that we're pulling back with that forearm and keeping that elbow high. Now what we're going to use to help you develop this wonderful catch are things called TerraBands. Now TerraBand is effectively elastic tubing. You can get it lots of places. Yellow is the weakest, it stretches the most. But we can also go through red, green, which is getting tougher, then black, which is really quite tough, but the toughest that we can get is grey. Now grey is pretty tough. We're not doing this as a strength exercise, so effectively if you buy a pack of these, which you can very easily, TerraBand tubing, and you'll be able to just buy that off the internet, throw away the black, throw away the grey, and stick primarily to the green or lower. Because what we're trying to do is develop technique. We don't actually want to fatigue you so that your technique deteriorates before you actually get a benefit of the exercise. Now, as well as buying it in packs of a cut length, and that's the cut length, you might actually want to cut lengths yourself depending on your situation. And you can get TerraBand in tubes or long packs of tubes, and this is about, I think it's probably about 5 to 20 metres long. It should say there, shouldn't it? No colours, green, heavy, but it doesn't say actually how long it is. But there's enough in here effectively to last a long time. And you just pull out what you want, cut it off, and you've got the colour tubing you want. You can see green's the one I tend to go for naturally, because I think it's got reasonable resistance while still allowing you to do an exercise without fatigue. Now, to be effective, we have to create loops. And the easiest way I find to create loops is to use the kind of thing that closes bags in the kitchen. So you get a clamp that closes a bag in the kitchen, you just put it across two of the things, get another one, and put it across again. Now we've clamped that twice, and you can see, although it moves, it's pretty strong and won't really give in very easily. And that's the kind of loop we need. We either need to be able to fit our hand through it or fit our arm through it. We're going to get to that right now. Okay, now I have one loop in my tubing. You want to loop it around something that's fairly solid. You could choose a door handle or something like that. And I'm going to make this quite short, so I'm coming back quite a way down the TerraBand. And then I'm going to connect it again with just these two clamps. You can see how easy it is to set up, but I want you to be able to see what I'm doing, and so I've made it quite short. So once we have our band set up around something secure that's not going to move, I want you to put your arm through so that you have your forearm on the TerraBand. Now from there, move back so you're in a bent over position, and just feel yourself pull your forearm back and let it go forward again. Feel yourself pull your forearm back and let it go forward again. Now when you're in this position, you have no chance to drop that elbow. So the more you do this, the better it's going to be to develop that really good catch and maintain a high elbow position throughout your stroke. Now the second exercise is actually using your hand flat. Do not grab it, it's flat there. And again, we're in that position. But as we pull back, we'll get a hip out the way. And we'll keep that high elbow position, and you can feel yourself really working the muscles of the upper arm to keep that elbow high. So the third exercise we're going to do is with both hands through the TerraBand loops. We're going to go into a bent over position again, so we're in that catch position, and drive our hands back and back and back. Effectively, we are doing a butterfly action. But you can see the butterfly action is exactly the same as the freestyle action, except we don't have a rotation at the end where we're stroking. So this is an excellent, excellent exercise to actually strengthen yourself outside the water and develop a very high elbow catch. If we drop our hands, we're going to release these loops and you'll have lost the catch. So, now for the next two exercises that I'm going to show you, you really need a longer piece of tubing or something like a fit gym. But if you've got a bench press, anyone can do this on their back. But if you have a bench press or a sit-up bench or a fit gym like I'm going to use, you can actually do it on your front. Instead of the tubing, I'm actually going to use the fit gym handles here, but it's exactly the same principle. Now with this exercise, whether you're using a TerraBand or like I am a fit gym, the aim is to keep a high elbow and to drive the hands back through the full stroke. So if I take my feet off the ground, you'll see I'm trying to keep a high elbow and drive it through. So high elbow back again, then high elbow and drive it through. Now this is practicing the whole stroke in a butterfly action. That butterfly action is both arms going through in that position. And that's re-emphasizing the fact that you need to keep a high elbow. It's trying to drive through with the forearm and the hand, and it's giving very good exercise. Now clearly, with the fit gym, I'm actually raising my body weight every time I do it. With TerraBands, you can actually grade the effort you're making by changing the resistance on the band itself. So you just go to yellow, red or green, or even black if you want a really hard workout. but this exercise is a really good workout, and it's very good for the whole stroke, not only the high catch position.
Now here with the fifth of our drills, we're doing the same thing on the front. So this is two-handed butterfly action. But it's really important that you are able to put your arms or hands underneath your body. So you need to be on something like this, which is a fit gym, or a sit-up bench, or a weight bench, so that you can actually get your hands underneath your body. You'll see what I mean. What we need to do is keep that elbow high, and predominantly we want to go back with the forearm if we possibly can, not the hands. And I'll show you what I mean. So I'm actually pulling my weight up, so this is a really good exercise, and you can see the effort I'm having to make to do that. And as we go to the end of the stroke, you can see that the hand is actually pointing backwards, as it would in a pull when you finish the front crawl stroke. I'm also working pretty hard, so this is a very, very good exercise to actually keep yourself reasonably fit over Christmas when you can't actually get to the pull.
Okay, so there you have it, my 5 Christmas gifts to you. 5 dryland exercises guaranteed to improve your catch and also your drive through. And if you do those exercises on your front and your back with the full push through on a reasonable resistance TerraBand, you will actually get a very good dryland exercise that actually improves your whole stroke. Okay, enjoy yourselves, have a lovely Christmas to you and your family. Thanks very much for watching. Like, subscribe, see you in the new year.